Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited, highly anticipated. I only know this guy from Mike from Illinois, a little bit outside of Chicago. He's a high school soccer coach, I believe, or some involvement with a movement that he wants to hook onto the United States National High School Champions League. Holy cow. And what we're doing here, ladies and gentlemen, is that we're getting first-hand report of a guy who discovers the High School Champions League and says, hey, we're going to do it here. Because it always starts with one. It always starts with one. And there's our guy. Mike, I forgot your last name. I didn't write it down. Know nothing about nothing.
It's Mike Stacy. Thanks, Kevin.
Mike Stacy. Beautiful. Now it's all coming back to me.
Yeah, and I'm actually not a high school. I'm not a soccer coach. I've never played soccer in my life, but I do. I run the social media for Providence Catholic High School's soccer program, the boys and girls in Illinois. But like I said, I never played soccer. I played football and baseball growing up, but fell in love with the sport. My kids played it, and I guess I tried it one time and realized how difficult it was and gained a huge amount of respect for it.
Nice.
So that, everything I do, it kind of came out of that. I think it was the respect for kind of how difficult the game is. I mean, what it takes, the conditioning. I mean, if you grew up here, I mean, it's gaining in popularity, obviously, and has been for a while here in the U.S. But, by people my age, growing up, really didn't play it. I mean, it was football and baseball and maybe basketball. But when you realize the conditioning that goes in, the skill that's needed, and the physicality of it, and then you start getting into the game about how they're playing. A lot of people get into the scoring. The score's only 1-0, 2-1. It's not exciting. It is, if you know what you're looking for, and once you start getting into the game, it just becomes, it's so much fun. And I've just got a lot of respect for the kids who are training and playing in soccer. So, go ahead.
Before you're right outside of Chicago in some county.
So Providence Catholic's in Will County. So we're probably, let's call it 45 minutes to an hour outside of southwest of Chicago. We're near probably the larger city near us is Joliet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, stay out of Joliet. You'll put you in prison or something.
Yeah, you got the old prison, and they're doing cool stuff with that too. The local. They just had a baseball game there on the prison grounds. They redid the old field. I mean, there's a lot of this neat stuff, and I think you touched on it. Just doing things a little bit different, trying to make things exciting, and that's where that this Champions League came in.
Yeah, and give me when I looked at Providence High School Celtics. Did you do all that?
So I do for the soccer program. Yeah. So on across most the Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, it's PC Celtics is our name on there. But yeah, that's what I work together with the coaches and the staff over at Providence Catholic and do the social media. Another, there's a lot of parents that contribute. Another, Michelle Martin, one of the moms, does a lot of the photography. But a lot of the parents are involved in the program and giving back. And in some way. I mean, it's really amazing.
Well, you're very, very impressive. And the Providence, what I see, that gets you well certified. Tell your friends. Tell your the other parents. That got you well certified, man.
Well, it's really it's one of these things. For me, it's a hobby, right? I mean, there's nothing else. I don't have a boat. If I wasn't doing this, I'd be sitting down watching TV, right? And so it's fun for me. It's also really fun. If you look on there, we follow all the the high schools, right, in Illinois, and I enjoy seeing the other soccer posts. I mean, it's free, right? I mean, it's how you get information out there. Newspapers now. We've got a great local newspaper, the Daily Southtown, that covers sports, but they can't be everywhere. They can't be at every game, right?
Right.
And so with the social media, it gives the opportunity to get these kids, some recognition, and everybody wants to see. I mean, at Providence Catholic's a private school, private Catholic school here, so the kids have come from all sorts of different junior highs, right? And those kids go on to public schools, other private schools. That posting on here, it also gives the opportunity for those kids to stay in touch. So it's pretty neat. If you went to 8th grade with one of your friends and he's gone on to a different school, and something that you did in your soccer game pops up, their parents see it. So that's what I like to see. We like and follow everybody's, and there's a lot of really good social media pages outside of ours too. I mean, if you look at St. Lawrence has a good page. Brother Rice, Lincoln Way Central, Peoria, Notre Dame, but just getting the information out. It's good to know what's going on.
Now, are you familiar? I will get you familiar with the USHSCL, United States High School Champions League.com is the kind of like the platform for the movement for the High School Champions League from all the regions that they have, right?
Yeah, it's actually really informative. They've got
Okay.
that website's really good, and then there's separate pages. I went through the St. Louis page.
Okay. Well, the deal is reaching out to try the teams to get like a team reporter. And a lot of people say, hey, man, it's right there at your fingertips, your school. No one's even talked about, hey, the parents might like to do this, the grandparents,
Oh, yeah. It's really, like I said, it's fun. You get into it, and even the kids enjoy it. Sometimes they say what I do is a little cringe, right, in their language, because I'm always trying to take videos and pictures and everything else. But the whole purpose is to get their name out there, right? I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of what
exactly.
these kids are going to showcase events. They want their names out there, and it's just another way to get their their accomplishments out and recognized.
In 1975, my teacher said, marketing is all around us. You got to be able to market, bro.
Yeah, without a doubt, and that's another aspect of it too. Is I really love Providence Catholic High School. Right, the high school itself is just a special place, but it's a private school, right? So we have to at Providence Catholic has to bring people in to the school. They don't automatically come, right? So it is that's another purpose of doing that, is making sure that we're getting Providence Catholic's name out there, so that people are, hey, I should take a look at this school, as opposed to, and the same can go for a public school, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Doing the same thing to, retain, the kids. But that's another aspect. It really is. But when it comes down to it, it's marketing. It's marketing our players. It's marketing our program. Marketing our school.
Okay, so now here it is. I'm going to step in the shoe. And it could be like the Jolly Green Giant shoe, and I don't fit, or it may fit. Are you into the realm of the journey to extraordinary to get people together to get a Champions League in your area?
Yeah, so this I mean this was just a couple days ago that I came across. And this is social media. You just talked about marketing. So I was cruising around. I mean, when I'm bored like everyone else, I've got my face on my phone. I was cruising through, and a lot of what I follow is soccer and sports. Well, this I think it was from Hart's account. He posted about this Champions League, and I think this came from Florida, right? And I looked at that, and I wrote him on there and asked for some more information, and we got hooked up. And it sounds exciting. I mean, it's really great. We talked about it. I know St. Louis has a program, and we're playing. Providence takes a road trip down to Quincy every year. And at Quincy, we play a couple teams from Missouri. This year, we're playing Ladue and Lindbergh. And I know we played Ladue and Clayton last year. So, those are very, very good teams. And obviously, the St. Louis is a hotbed for soccer. So it really had me interested when I saw those teams and brought it over to our coach and said, hey, was this something that we would, you'd consider? And it said, yeah, this sounds really, really great.
And then there was dead air.
So like anything else, I mean, the concept is great. Maybe we talk about the concept a little bit here, if you don't mind. I'll just
I don't.
For anybody listening.
You're wonderful.
But the Champions League, as I understand it, is the purpose is really to give something to the kids to make the games exciting, right, for the kids to play in, and to get people to the field interested in the games, right? Just to sidetrack again, I told you I could talk forever, but my biggest goal, I would say, is to fill the fans for the kids' soccer games, right? I mean, I played, and many of us played high school sports. To me, there's a big difference when you put in all of that effort and practices and sacrifices, and you're playing the game, and you look up and there's 5 people in the stands, right? Or you look up in the stands and you've got the whole school and the stands are full. You play better, you feel better. So I want to, I would like to see our stands filled for all the games watching soccer. So to get back to the Champions League, this movement, it's a local movement, but to my understanding, there's a Champions League in Tampa, in St. Louis, and a couple other markets. But according to the market, according to the size, basically what it is you take you determine the metrics, who qualifies, just like in Europe, the champions. So let's say in Tampa, I think they take the district champions from the previous year, get an invite or a bid to play in the tournament the following year, and you accept the bid, and I think there might be 16 teams. And how many we do go ahead with here to start off in Chicago or in Will County might be a little bit smaller. But let's say you have 16 teams and you divide them up into 4 groups. Those groups, play within there, and you get a winner of the group, and they move on, and ultimately you crown a champion. And what it does is, and I see it as doing is that here in Illinois, most teams are in a conference, which means you're obligated to play, let's say anywhere from 7, some of the conferences are large, 7 to 11 games, you're obligated to play its conference, right? And there's a goal to those games. They're conference games. They're asterisk, right? Those are important games because you want to win conference. But we're allowed to play 25 regular season games here in Chicago. If you're playing 7 games that are meaningful, what are the other games then? And so what every year the coaches reach out and they schedule games, but they're just regular season games, right? With the Champions League here, what those group games, are just regular season games, the same thing, but you're playing for a purpose. You're trying to get out of the group, right? And so it makes those games, those regular season games, more meaningful. And then ultimately, you'll have a championship, game during the season. So it gives, again, people going out and seeing it, recognizing a specific game. It's played for a purpose. And it also, if it goes back to, district, let's say that in order to qualify, you've got to be the district winner. Winning the district it's a great thing, right? It's an accomplishment, but this even makes it more so, right? Some people here, if you talk to them about conferences, winning a conference might be one of the metrics that you set up. The winners of each conference get a bid to play against each other next year, because if you ask a lot of kids, they may not even know what conference they're in anymore. It's kind of lost that all the focus is on the postseason, right? Who's the state champ? That's really the focus. So if you can make the games, all of the games more exciting and there's something to play for rather than that specific game, that's what I see the Champions League, providing. It's excitement during the soccer season.
And you are also again in the Wales Certified Hall of Fame, baby. I mean, come on. You just a newbie, and you got it all in the wheelhouse, man.
Yeah, it's just it's a great thing, and it's also, I think on top of it too, the great thing is, we talked about what you're doing is replacing, and it's really hard to say you're replacing. You're just the regular season games, those. So again, we have 25 games we could play during the season. You've got 7 conference games that you must play. So the rest of your schedule, we're not replacing anything. We're just making the regular season games, count. And there's no added cost, right? So, you could talk about all the benefits. I just don't see drawbacks to it, right?
Right.
You've got clubs are expensive. And, they're attracting kids away from high school soccer because it's, part of it, it's glamorous, right? Who wouldn't, if you could afford it, who wouldn't want to be flying around the U.S. playing in tournaments, right? I mean, where are you going this weekend? I'm going to Utah. I'm going to California. But it is expensive, right? And nothing can replace the memories that you get from high school, playing in high school. The friendships. Everybody's done it who's ever played a sport. You sit around and you talk about the glory days, right? I mean, it's 50 years on. And then if you do win a championship, you guys get together 50 years later. I know in Oak Forest here, where I live, in 1985, the Oak Forest High School was national champs in baseball. Those guys still get together. You know what I mean? I mean, you see them together and their names are known, right? They're still known. They were high school kids.
Yeah.
And so, there's nothing like playing with the high school. If you add in now this championship, it's just another opportunity for something that kids to create memories and talk about, right? And for parents and grandparents and everything else, right? Do you remember when you played and you guys won the championship? Right. I mean, I talked to my kids about, things that they did when they were in 7th grade when we had a team. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's nearly 15 years on. And but that's the power of kind of, high school sports. And that's what this Champion League, I really think, provides for soccer.
Now, the soccer coach at Providence, doesn't he or she have some kind of status to go with it?
Oh, he's Mike. Well, we've got the entire staff, but it's led by Mike Taylor. Mike Taylor's the winningest boys soccer coach in Illinois. He's got 599 wins. He's going for 600th on Monday. I think total wins. He also coaches our girls. I think he's got about 805 total wins across boys and girls. He's been doing this for, I think, coaching at least 40 years. But we've got, our assistant coach, John Kovach, was the head coach at Providence in the early 2000s, graduated from Providence. We've got on the girls' side, Dan Ratz, who's got 40 plus years experience, multiple state trophies. He had coached at a couple different schools, Lincoln Ways and Marian Catholic. The staff is unbelievable, but and this is, as much as a coach wins, he focuses on it's all about the kids, right? Developing not just soccer. He's developed some great soccer players, but it's recognizing that it's about life, right? I mean, he's a disciplinarian, but just wants kids to do the right thing, right? And then number one, it's academics. I mean, his focus is on academics. Soccer secondary. We've got a great program and great pedigree. Brad Guzan, the legendary goalkeeper, graduated from Providence in 2003, and he was coached by Coach Kovach. So we've got a very good history, very good program recognized here, and the school in general, where the winningest private high school with 33 state champions in Illinois. So we've got and that's where I'm hoping through the coach, his connections, through the program, that we can build this Champions League.
Wow. Now back up, man. What do you say about this goalkeeper?
Oh, Brad Guzan. I mean, he was. Guy.
Oh, yeah.
The Guzan. So, Brad is a Providence graduate. He played high school soccer. So, that's another. It's another thing that we point out, that you can't make it anywhere playing high school soccer, which is just a total fantasy. And you look at baseball players, it's the same way. Look at the pros. Look at football players. But Brad played at Providence. He was coached by Coach Kovach. Still very much supports and in contact with our soccer program, and he's a ambassador of soccer, right? I mean, you saw him all over the TV during the World Cup, and just a great person.
And you have had business dealings, maybe creative dealings with a Frank Kahn out of Quincy.
Yeah, I mean Frank's another. I mean Frank's doing this stuff too. I mean similar to so the some of the stuff that I'm doing is going to supplementing Frank and people like Frank and Steve Millar. Steve Millar is a reporter for the Daily Southtown, and he said that these guys are unbelievable. Right. I mean, they're giving their time and the dedication. I mean, they're seeing multiple games per day. Right. I mean, I don't know when they have time to see their families, but, their focus is on kids and, getting the recognition. And it is just something when you see, if you're a player and you see your name in the paper, there's something special about it. I mean, my parents used to cut out the articles in the paper. There's not a lot of physical papers anymore, but there's something special about seeing your name in print still.
Absolutely.
Whether it's on paper or now on a website or a social media page, it's special. You put in the effort and you got the recognition, right?
And so Frank, he possibly is a different guy, but as far as your background and all this social media type of thing, it's not your you didn't make a living out of it.
Oh no, this is no. Yeah. I don't take it. So that's not the purpose of this.
I'm talking about how you learn, how you know what to do, how to do it. Because I'm getting at is that you, amongst all others, hey, it's almost easy peasy. The technology's there. Just put it together.
Oh yeah, and it doesn't. And you can find free sites. A lot of people use Canva for making nice, editing nice pictures and stuff. But it's trial and error, YouTube, looking at what other people do. But yeah, I mean, at the beginning, if you looked at the stuff that I did, at the beginning, it looked, childish, right?
Yeah.
But you start, focusing, noticing the errors and finding ways to, hey, make it look a little bit better. But, at the end of the day, it's you try to keep it as professional as you can. But at the same time, the purpose is, recognizing, getting the recognition out there. We try to support, through we've got some sponsors that we try to support and put the advertising, embed the advertising into our posts and get them some recognition. But yeah, I mean, it's trial and error. It's really not that hard, and the hardest part is the consistency, right?
Yeah,
is just one, getting started and just keep going forward, right? I mean, the internet's a crazy thing. I mean, you look at some of the stuff that there's beautiful, highly edited things, and then you see some other pages that are just literally stick drawings, and people are watching it. So you really can't go wrong. You know what I mean? And especially if you have the focus that, hey, all I'm trying to do is make sure that people understand what's going on with our, the local soccer program, the high school soccer program, and the kids playing in it. That's it.
Yeah. And you talk about something, they talk about the parents and the players there is a special, hey, you may not be playing a lot of minutes, but you're practicing and learning the craft of the game. And you and your uncle or aunt, father, boom, grandparents can start with this social media to really make it up. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff that can be done on
yeah. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, you go into the game, you see all the people with cameras, right? I mean, the simple thing is you're taking pictures, just upload them onto the Facebook page, right? And send it out. That's it. So that others, you're going to take pictures of the other kids, they come across it and they share it around, right? I mean, it's simple as that. But yeah, and if you look at our stuff, there's pictures of practices, just normal pictures of kids, because again, you come across it, and you can see, grandparents or parents or friends forwarding on, hey, I saw, such and such, boy, he's grown up, right? And these are, people across the internet. Like I said, I got hooked up with this Champions League through a post that was made in Florida. I wouldn't have known it. There's no way I could have known about this movement if it wasn't for Twitter or X, right?
Right.
It spread that message, over to here, and it's a similar thing. It's as simple as just taking some pictures, getting it, and posting it and sharing it. If you really want to get into it, then do it consistently, and create a page that is, your high school soccer page that just has pictures on it. And there's many of those, and they're neat to look at, and you'd be surprised people, that aren't just related to the players or the program looks at it. I mean, I like going through and seeing what others are doing and, how the programs are going. It's, we don't have, it's not like Major League Soccer Premier or Major League, ESPN. There's no page for that in high school soccer, right? Yeah. So how are you supposed to know how, who the players, and, that's also, a topic we talked about before is, local, that's the other thing that I really like is I just like high school sports that, the kids are playing because they, most of them are playing because they love the game, right? They're not playing to become professional. The professional level is just so difficult, right? Not only physical, like you've got to be blessed with unbelievable gifts, but the sacrifice that it takes to become the professional is another thing too, right? So most of the kids out there are playing, for the love of the game. What is it? I think they say only 7% maybe will play at the next level in college, right?
Yeah,
So 93% of the kids out there are playing. This is it, and they other than a few pickup games, they'll never play again. They're playing for their family. They're playing for their fun, themselves, the school, and it's free, right, to go watch. So it's for me, like, if you could, part of what I kind of pretend like we have this minor league. I envision our soccer pro as a minor league soccer team, right? That we're trying to generate a fan base, right?
yeah.
Let them know when the games are, create some excitement, come out and watch. It's free. If it's a nice night, just come out for a little bit, because just your presence there, one, you're going to watch good soccer, but just your presence there is going to make a difference to the kids on the field, right? I mean, even the parents, like, if there's a particular game where there's a lot of people recognize it's not just the kids on the field, the parents, wow, there's a lot of people here, right? It just makes everybody feel better. So, the local sports, and this is a local sport, and we talked about it too, that here in Illinois, property taxes are pretty high, and the property taxes are going, I think it's like 65% is going to the local schools. Well, in my mind, that makes you part owner of the school, right? So if you think of it that way, you're part owner of the soccer program. Come out and watch your team.
There you go. And that brings me back to what just the wow factor times 100, well, infinity, is that Maddie DiMaria, she just won the EPSI award for the best high school player, 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year, and just as a 2-time state champion with the undefeated, 25-30 this past season, which they won, and then now she's left at her junior year because of the grades that she has to be able to go to University of North Carolina and get it, situated there. Plus, she's on the U17 team, U16 or and just received a hat trick the other day. And all played high school.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, and you see some of these. I mean, these high school kids, when you get in, everything they're dealing with, we all played. So the other thing about high school sports is that we can recognize it, right? We all played there, right? So you can put yourself inside those players because you've been there, as opposed to, watching professional. We haven't been. We're not professionals, right? You know what I mean? But on the high school field, what that kid's going through. And there's some amazing. I mean, we had a boy that graduated a couple years ago, Jimmy Pico, valedictorian of the class, perfect score on his ACT.
Wow.
He was the conference player of the year. Obviously our MVP, top goal scorer. And he went to Notre Dame. And he's not playing soccer in college anymore. But he did all of that stuff while playing and being a top athlete. Right? Yeah. I mean, that's awesome. That's amazing. And that kind of stuff needs to get out there and be recognized, right. Exactly. So that other kids realize that, I need to concentrate on such and such. I can't do. No, you can do everything because there is plenty of time, and there's those who've done it. Right.
Right.
So and that's just like you talked about, the girl who played the Jimmy. There's amazing stories and amazing players that just because you can't be everywhere at once, that social media allows to them to get that recognition and that name out there.
Oh, well, we're getting close to the finish line, and the story is to say, hey, Mike, Stacy, you know stuff about stuff. Is there something that you haven't said yet that you wanted to say before you started this interview?
Oh, man, I could talk for hours on this.
Hey, let me tell you something, pal. The longest goodbye you'll ever have is when you say hello to me. But you taught me, baby. I mean, I could learn a lot from you.
No, I just say that I would just encourage people to get out there, and share, share these stories, and basically, attend your local high school events, right? Especially if you've got young kids. So I'm going to go just a little bit more, but give you an example. I mean, we used to take our kids to the Windy City Thunderbolts, which is a Frontier League baseball team. And the quality of the play was amazing. You're sitting right on top of the field. I think it cost like $5 to get in. Hot dogs were $2 or $3, right? As opposed to going to the professional game. When I had the younger kids, they didn't know, they couldn't tell you if you weren't at the Cubs game. They loved the experience. And I think it's the same thing going to a high school game when you have the younger kids. Bring them up there, watch the game, especially if it's a nice night. Just go spend a little time. They're going to love it because they'll get to run around, watch a game, and the kids on the field will recognize that you're there. So it's a simple thing, and then the high school is probably within most people, I would say 15 minutes of wherever you live. But attending the high school games, I think, is really important. It's typically free, and it makes a big difference.
Wow. You captured the essence. Nice going, Mike. Well, yeah. Now it comes out to this, is that now it's official, is that at Whale Certified, we always end saying, hey, Mike, whatever you want to say to who you ever want to say it to, for as long as you want to say it for. This is totally Mike Stacy, ladies and gentlemen.
I appreciate it. I appreciate your podcast. You're doing the same thing that we've been talking about here, is getting this type of information out there that otherwise, people wouldn't know about. So yeah. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And so I'm going to reach out to you. You're not just going to, you're leading to water, but you get distracted and baba boom, baba bang. No, you're going through this thing. And we'll get your coach Whale Certified and see how the Celtics of Providence go. We'll keep you updated with that. And, there's a big show number in the musical Oliver.
Yeah.
Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family.
Well, I think we'll be in your neck of the woods next week. We're playing Ladue and Lindbergh, so we'll see how the Missouri boys play soccer.
Boom. Are you playing in the St. Louis area, or?
So we're playing in Quincy. So
okay,
we take an annual trip down to Quincy. It is awesome. So we go down to Quincy, Notre Dame. We play them, and then our kids have a overnight stay at the players' houses.
Wow!
So the first thing that we do is we go down there on Thursday. We play them, and then we go out to dinner with just the players themselves. We go out to dinner, no phones. The coach confiscates the phones, and so they forces them to talk, and then they go to stay overnight, and then they attend service in the morning at the school on Friday. And then we go on Providence Catholic and do a service project with United Way. And then the following 2 days, Friday and Saturday, we'll play 2 games. And it's typically against Missouri teams. So this year it's Ladue and Lindbergh.
Wow. I know both of those. I know both of those coaches. So, say hello for me and everything.
Yeah, absolutely will. It's just a great it's a great time because the kids get together. It's more than soccer. They play soccer.
Yeah.
But imagine immediately after the game, you're going to have dinner with them, right?
Yeah.
So
you talk about social media. The coach for Ladue, Dave Ehrenberg, off the charts. The start in 11. He's everything about everything social media in the St. Louis area, and you got a rookie over there at Lindbergh, Sam Hackett. So that'll be something. But
Yeah.
man, you guys come in. Woo, man, the
Yeah.
Providence, the Celtics of Providence, baby.
Yep, yep. We'll be there. And I know Ladue, we played them last year. Boy, they were big boys. So
Yeah,
they've got, and I know Lindbergh and both of those programs are. I think we played Clayton last year. I mean, those are all good
yeah.
programs.
Oh,
Good soccer.
absolutely, absolutely. And well versed in the St. Louis High School Champions League,
Yes.
and they're all about the student athlete to become a scholar champion in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it's all about. I mean, ultimately, it's the chance of becoming pro are very low. It's good moving on with life, right? I mean, learning more. You learn a lot of lessons from soccer
Yeah.
that you can take
Well,
on, right?
back in the day, they said, Wales, it was easier to be a pro than not to be a pro with you. But I found a way not to play professional.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I guess.
Okay. Hey, man, you've been off the charts. And I know that you know that I know. This is not going to be our last time talking. We're going to, be a regular type of thing.
Awesome.
Yes. Okay. So there you go. And where you have been Wales certified, and you have been on Wales certified, and you know that other people could be Wales certified if they would only try.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right. Cheerio.
All right. Bye bye.